having too much free time is making it absolutely impossible for you to break those bad habits. Now, something that a lot of us really struggle to understand, or something that none of us are really taught at any point in our lives, is that free time can actually be really dangerous. Funny as it sounds, especially if you're in those early stages of your self-improvement where you're still trying so hard to break those bad habits. Okay, and the reason for this is that when you have like free time, right? When you have free time, it's sort of just code for doing whatever the fuck you want, not being productive, right? But when you have free time, your mind, of course, isn't actively engaged in something meaningful. And the result of this is that you become passive. Okay, because your mind isn't actively engaged in something else, it becomes very vulnerable to all of those urges to indulge that you get throughout the day. And the result of this is that you become a lot more likely to revert to those bad habits that you're trying so hard to break. I remember when I was maybe about a year ago, when I was about 6 months into self-improvement, I just hit like a 30-day streak on NoFap, and I was feeling so amazing about myself. I thought I was making so much progress. I've grown so much. I've finally overcome that awful habit. I don't have to feel like that ever again. Okay, and I was on my bed, reading on my phone. I think it was like Man's Search for Meaning, something like that. It doesn't really matter. I wasn't really that into the book, which is how this is relevant. And because I wasn't really into the book and I wasn't mentally engaged, I was quite passive. And so when that urge came to, stick my hand down my trousers, I couldn't resist it. Now, I'm not going to explain in depth exactly what happened, moment by moment. But long story short, I gave in. I broke the streak and I felt fucking horrible as a result. It felt so bad. There are very few things that I've felt in life that come close to that feeling of, being so hopeful, feeling like I'm on top of the world because, I've made so much progress. I've finally overcome that awful habit I've been trying so hard to beat for so long. And then after that, not being able to resist it. Thinking I've finally overcome that mountain of an obstacle, and then feeling so hopeless and powerless in the face of my desires. It feels absolutely awful. Now, flash to now, my day is filled with things that I find, genuinely meaningful. I don't have any free time because at any point in time, I know exactly what I want to be doing, whether it's a healthy habit or creating content like this or going to the gym or learning, whatever. I know exactly what I should be doing at any point in the day. And so because my mind's always directed toward, some higher purpose, it's a lot less vulnerable to those urges, because when those urges surface, like the urge to porn surfaced right before I made this video. And guess what I did? I literally just redirected my attention to this thing that's genuinely meaningful to me. And so I was able to abstain. When maybe a year ago, when I didn't have anything better to do, I would have given in. So that is how you make that change. You fill up your day with all of those things that are really genuinely meaningful to you, instead of leaving those pockets of time where, there's not really any specific thing that you should be doing. And as a result, your mind sort of has the freedom to get you to do whatever it wants. And that will invariably be something that's bad for you, giving into some random urge that will not get you closer towards any goal. Having free time does not help. Okay, it sounds awful because, of course, you're always busy. You don't have any time to just relax. But you do. You schedule that journaling, thinking time into your routine. But yeah, there's no but. Fill up your day with things that are meaningful to you. Leave no pockets of time. Okay, I would advise, as an actionable step, get a piece of paper and a pen, or make a note on your phone if that's more convenient for you. But the key thing is, make a list of all of those activities that are really meaningful to you, that you could spend your time on. So for me, that would look like, I already went over this, but content creation, going to the gym, healthy habits, learning. Right, so I know that any point in time where I don't have anything that I'm specifically required to do, I will be spending my time on any of those 4 things. Okay, so make that list, and then I want you to draw up a routine. Now, I've already made a video on routine, so I'm not going to go into that much depth here, but just to summarize, make a table that has 2 columns and as many rows as you need. Now, in the left column, have the sort of time frames. So say 8 to 8:30 a.m., 8:30 to 8:45 a.m., etc. And then in the right column, have the activity that you're going to be doing. So maybe for me, that would look like, what would that look like? Like 6:25 a.m., wake up. 6:75 a.m., wake up. 6:50 a.m., meditate, etc. And the key bit here is to leave no gaps in your routine, called free time. Leave no gap in your routine where you don't know exactly what you should be doing. Okay, it doesn't really matter what the thing is, so long as it's actually important to you and it's intellectually engaging. That is everything. Just fill up your day with as many of those things that are meaningful to you as possible. Because if you leave those blank spaces, your brain will fill in that time for you. And your brain, I hate to break it to you, but it's not on your side. It will fill in that time with all of those things that are awful for you. If you found this video useful, if you found it insightful, enlightening, whatever other words, please subscribe. I create free content like this for people just like you twice a day. Thank you very much for watching. That is all.